Hi,
Hi there.
how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good too. No, even
Great.
so much better actually. Been
Yes.
been is isolating for I think 2 months.
2 months and it's been
Yeah.
crazy. I've been depressed already. How about you there?
I'm so productive, so I do
Oh.
everything I could here. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like sewing, making masks,
Oh
and then
wow.
I started to read books as well.
That's really productive for
I
sure. I mean
know.
like, I don't even wash my hair for a
Oh,
week. Hey, by the way, we've been so fun talking, but then we haven't introduced ourselves.
oh
So should
yeah,
we
you're
introduce ourselves to the audience?
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. You can go
Sure.
first.
All
Ladies,
right, then
ladies first.
ladies first. What a gallant movement. All right, so my name is Isabella. You can just simply call me Bella. And my hobby, I love listening to the music. I love reading and doing some workout. Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, boring life, whatever. How about you, Kiki? So I
Hi.
have Kiki here
Mm.
as my partner.
Hi, hi, hi. So my name is Kiki, and I've got a lot of nicknames actually. So some people call me Q, some people call me Ade, some people call me Risky, some people call me Dwee. So up to you. That's all me actually.
No one call you
Uh,
babe.
well, in the past.
All right.
What else? Why should I tell?
How about your
Um,
hobby? What do you
oh
like
yeah, yeah.
besides
I'm
that?
sorry. So my hobbies, I love singing a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then I love cooking, but I do Korean food.
Ooh,
Yeah. And then
right.
that's all. Nothing special about me.
That's
So
special
smart.
about you. Are you kidding? Why are you trying so humble? It's
Yeah.
a humble flex.
No, that's true because I'm just an ordinary person, and like you, you're so special and
No.
you're so
Are we really doing this now
pretty.
in our first podcast? And then how do we know each other, Kiki? Would you please tell them?
Oh yeah, so the story started in 2016. So we met at one of the English institution in Bandung.
Right.
Do I need to tell them? I mean, do I need to tell the audience what institution? No, right? So
No,
just
it's fine. Just let it,
okay, yeah. So
mysterious.
I met Bella right on the placement test at that time.
I
So
know. I
I
still
never,
remember everything, the details and stuff.
I know, I never thought that you would be a one of staff there. And then suddenly my manager came to me and then she said that, oh, we found one actually to be an English trainer.
It's not. It's a mentor.
Oh, sorry, mentor.
I would
Told
be
me that
glad if I
you,
would
you
be
t-
just an English trainer.
told me to disguise it, and then you tell everyone about that.
All right. Wow.
Okay, so yeah, so we met in that institution, so we became a mentor,
Hmm.
and then we get along really well up until now, since 2016. So in total 4 years, right?
Isn't it weird, right? I mean, like someone just came into your life and then we just became friends for such a long time.
I know that's really
Yeah.
weird, and we're even closer than my best friend. I mean, than the other best. That's
I
weird.
know.
Really
So
weird.
yeah, since then, guys, I've been really close to Kiki, and we've been talking about so many stuff, right? Including like personal
Right.
stuff. I don't
Yeah.
really have to tell
So
you
because
guys
like
what's
we've
on.
got something in common, so that's why
Right.
we get along really well up until now.
Yes. So we've been really passionate about English language.
Yes.
Are we grammar Nazi? Can we categorize ourselves as grammar Nazi?
Well, I think it was so flexible. It depends on the situation. If
Mm-hmm.
people want us to be grammar Nazi, we could. But sometimes we're not really that strict to grammar
Yes.
because right, when it comes to learning English, for people who just like started learning English, there'll be some kind of like a lot of thoughts in their minds regarding to that. They're
True.
going to think about
Yeah.
these and that, this and that,
Uh-huh.
this and that. Can you imagine that if we as a mentor, and then we apply that kind of like grammar Nazi thing to them,
I
they'll
know.
distrust.
Yes, they will
And
be really like, scared of us, right?
so
Yes.
that happens a lot actually in here in Indonesia, right?
Mm.
That
So,
grammar stuff.
let's try to imagine the situations at that time back then when we were still a mentor. Have you ever experienced, situations that makes you feel uncomfortable when you speak as an Indonesian speaking English, to another Indonesians? Do you have any kind of, like stigma or whatsoever?
I met a lot of students actually who've got the same problem when it comes to grammar and stuff, because when it comes to, again, back to the English second learner, you're right, English second learner. So when they just started to learn English, they would think about grammar first. That's going to be like a barrier, the huge barrier actually.
Yes.
So when they think about that, and then they really want to start actually speaking English, but suddenly someone helped them like, oh no, that is not how it's pronounced. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like that. And then at the end, those people became so nervous, and then they became like demotivated. And that happens a lot. They came to me and then they talked to me like, Kiki, I met this person, and then when I talked about blah, 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 and suddenly that person stopped me, and then that person said to me like, oh no, that's supposed to be past tense. You've got to use this
That's
one and that one.
awful.
Well, I know, but I mean, that is very good actually, telling people about something that is not good or something is wrong.
Right.
But I think the way they communicated is not right. Right?
Yes. But the first time you learned English when you were back then in school or maybe like college, have you experienced by yourself that, hey, Kiki, your pronunciation is wrong? Have you ever experienced it by yourself?
I think so. I mean, like, I met lots of people who bashed me in the past, but I think I will tell you later. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, I was like struggling a lot in the past when it comes to like English and also my accent, because like, you can really hear my accent is different than the other accent. My accent is like, it's just, different. So that's why it becomes like some kind of like, what is that? What do we call it? Like subject, like bullying subject,
Right.
So,
Verbally.
yeah. Yeah, verbally. So it started from that. So in the past, I didn't use this accent because I wasn't like brave enough to talk with this accent. But
Okay.
but at that time,
your accent is pretty impressive though. You still remember when we got the visitor from New Zealand, like the boyfriend of one of our students, and then like he approached you and then said, have you ever been to UK or somewhere? Because like your accent is perfect, it's nearly perfect as a British English speaker. So how did you actually learn this accent the first time? Do you still remember?
oh yeah. So I think this is one of the best moments I've had so far. I've been struggling with this accent. I've been shaping my mouth, shaping my, my not really my tongue, was twisting my tongue actually to be able to pronounce this accent, to be able to have this accent. So it started when I was in elementary school. So I like Harry Potter. Who knows Harry Potter? Everyone knows Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, I know Harry Potter.
Everyone loves Harry Potter, including me. So I started to learn this accent from Harry Potter. So my role model at that time was Hermione and also Harry Potter. So some kind of like picture them in my mind that I wanted to be like them. But at first I didn't know whether that one is like British accent. So I just like followed the series up until I think junior high school. And I just realized that that one was British accent and I liked it. And I just like some kind of talk to myself that I wanted to be British. I wanted to be like the one who talked like that. So that's why I
But you
So,
know,
oh,
we learned English back then in college, right? And there's
mm,
so many accents back then, the Cockney accents, and
mm.
what was it again from the Liverpool one? I forgot.
So
Scott.
basically, there are like three, like Estuary
Okay.
English, and then
Mm-hmm.
RP, and also Cockney
Mm-hmm.
in general, actually. But again, when it comes to like region, they've got their own accent.
Mm-hmm.
So my accent is more to, I think, contemporary RP, I would say. I just
Cool.
knew it, I think, like a couple of years ago.
How do you find it out?
So this is so funny. When I had a training, I
Uh-huh.
don't know, in that institution, just to remember that Isaac came to our institution.
I wasn't there at that time.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
haven't
So
joined. Yeah.
there were like a lot of like foreigners
Mm-hmm.
who came to our institution at that time, and
Right.
then there was one girl. So she came from London, if I'm not mistaken. And suddenly, like one of the students like asked me
Uh-huh.
to go upstairs
Right.
because like they want to like show me, as in like, Kiki, come on, I've got someone, and I want you to meet her. Who?
Uh-huh.
I said, just go upstairs. And then I went upstairs, and then I met that girl. And
Uh-huh.
suddenly, when I started to talk, and then I was using this accent, right? So and then when I used this accent, I suddenly said, "Oh my God, you've got London accent. Is this London accent? I don't know." I said because like it keeps like changing, you know. Everyone, what I mean,
Uh-huh.
at that time, the first time I met that girl told me that this is like London accent,
So
and then
is it considered as posh?
no, not really. It's not really
Mm,
posh.
okay.
Posh is really hard, you know. Really, really hard, posh.
Right.
And then after that, I had a training
Uh-huh.
in that institution, and then I met um, the real, you know, British. This is like a woman,
Mm-hmm.
so she came from like I think you know international at that time,
Right.
and then she told me that oh my God, you've got Birmingham accent. Okay,
Oh,
it
okay.
was
It's
London
changing
accent and now
again.
Birmingham accent. Okay, so what
Interesting.
accent I'm using actually.
Uh-huh.
And then when I tried to browse in the YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and then I found that this is RP, contemporary RP. It's some kind of like modified RP because
So
like you know,
some people or maybe like some of our listeners might not know what is RP. Would you please tell us
oh
again
okay,
what is
so
RP?
RP is like received pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some kind of like there's like in American, I think if I'm mistaken, they've got general American pronunciation. I forgot the
Right.
name. Then
Mm-hmm.
in British they've got RP. So RP is some kind of like these are like a collection of words that is usually used by British. We
Right.
call that pronunciation. So yeah, and after that I found out that okay, my accent is contemporary RP because I met someone who got the same accent with me, and
Mm-hmm.
that she said that the accent that she's using is contemporary RP, some kind of like modified RP. This one posh actually, but modified. So that's why it becomes like
All right.
that's why it becomes like contemporary received. Contemporary RP. Yeah, contemporary received pronunciation. I know it's a little bit like complicated, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also you sound really American.
Me?
I,
I don't know. Well, lately,
no,
guys,
no,
it's like,
I mean like this one. We haven't talked for quite a long time, yeah, and
and
then
then,
we just like communicate through WhatsApp. And then when I heard you talking before, like, oh my God, Isabel, you're so American.
um, well, I hope so. Because lately, because I've been teaching IELTS, and mostly IELTS is in British English, right? So it's pretty
Yay!
hard for me to
Right.
be consistent using American accents because my hearings get used to Australian and British. So yeah, yay, Matt. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
I'm
So
trying. I'm
you get
trying to be the same.
you get influenced by those accents.
Exactly. So
So
I
maybe
cannot
like have you
imagine if let's say I have to live in Australia for a year. I think like my accent will change
so
automatically.
so have you got any plan to change your accent?
I'm sorry.
British?
Um, nah, not at all. Like I tried to be like you. You still remember when we had a meeting back then, and then you pronounced the word clarity, and I was trying to pronounce it at home, and I was like, clarity. And it sounds like, I don't know, weird for me. It's clarity for
I
me.
know.
Clarity.
That's Cockney one, so the T drops at this line, clarity. I think
But
like
have you
everyone
ever tried to speak English in American accent, Key?
I tried it once in the past. So you are, I think, the second friend of mine who've got a very strong English American accent. In the past, I've got friends, and until now we're still friends. We're still like friends, of course. She's my best friend. So I still remember that in the past when I was in university, we always like sat together, and then we made some kind of like game about like American channel and British channel.
Right.
Yeah, and she was so fluent. Her English was really amazing, and I mean, like, she sounds like American, real American.
Wow.
And then at that time, someone like told us like, okay, guys, I need you to like change your accent. You from American and you from British American. Oh my God, it's going to be really hard. So maybe just try it. I tried it, and then I can't. So it only lasted for several seconds, and then I'm back to a British accent again. No, it's really hard.
Will you try now to speak
No,
American accent? Come
no.
on, just like sound like, you know, a
No.
sentence, simple sentence. Just say, I want to eat an egg.
Okay, I'll try it.
Okay. This is the very first time, guys, okay? Let me tell you this one. So I've been friends with Kiki for like 4 years. I've never heard him speaking an American accent. So let's just listen to Kiki speaking an American accent.
So okay, okay, I'll try it. I wanna eat an egg.
Did you just say no, it's like I want to eat an egg.
I want to. Oh no, okay. I want to eat an egg.
It's not normal at all times. The one, it's different with me. Can you differentiate it? Like, I want to eat an egg, and he was just like, I want it.
I mean, like, Brits are like pronounce T really clear. So I usually say like I want to eat an egg instead of I want to eat an egg.
Will you please challenge me back to speak in British accent?
Okay, so
Okay,
I want you to
it must be difficult. I'm sure, but like, oh, I know this guy.
Can you really like say I want to order a bottle of water?
Oh my God, it's such a long sentence.
No, I want to order a bottle of water.
I want to order a bottle of water.
No, that's American. It's British, for God's sake.
I want to order a bottle of water.
No, I want to order a bottle of water.
I want to order a bottle of water.
Okay, no, you can't. Okay.
Really?
We don't really pass the challenge. No, we've failed. We're such a failure. No.
So I want to order a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna throw up. That wasn't me. See, guys, if you have spoken English in some certain accent, I think it's hard for you to just change it right away, right? Because
it
feels weird.
It sounds weird. So that's why I think accent is like a bonus for me. So if your English is already good, I mean, if you've like fixed everything, the components inside English, so the accent will follow. So that's why if you want to learn English, if you want to learn accent, it's better for you to start from the basic first. Like, first, like, fix your English, for sure. And then you go to the letters, and after that you go to the words, and after that you go to sentence. You know, you like some kind of do it like step by step.
Right. So yeah, I want to add that too, that before learning accent, it's better for you to just learn basic English, you know, the grammar and stuff, the vocabulary, and then you can improve your accent by watching some Netflix or maybe like listening to some podcasts, like our podcast, Let's Run, right? Or do you have any other like tips? Maybe?
Yeah, you're right. And also the most important thing, actually, just speak up. no need to be afraid to make mistakes, because like me, I'm still making mistakes, even though I made a lot of mistakes before.
What should we do if we face some people who are really like, judgmental to us when we speak in English, especially maybe another Indonesian who will say, you're not from America or you're not from UK while you're trying to speak in English?
This is going to be really hard, actually, Bella. Because, oh my God, I called you Bella.
I know, right? I was like, whoa.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Keep going.
No, I mean, it's going to be really hard because not all people like have that kind of don't care attitude, So that's going to be really hard for those who've got some kind of like what do we call it in English? If you really like if you take something personally, it's going to be really hard for them. Because we could really say that just ignore them, just, say what's in your mind. But at the end, it's going to be really hard for them because sometimes they take it personally because maybe they think that their level is like, lower than that person they're talking to. But actually, that's not the case.
Yes, true.
But yeah, so I think the piece of advice that I can really offer, the wise one is that just try to take it as your motivation first. And secondly, do not take it personally because like everyone has their own face,
Yes.
And you can't really just like put yourself on that face directly. I mean, like everyone, maybe in the past they struggled too. So, people will have their own time. So that's why I think that the easy one is just like try to make it as a motivation so that you can really keep growing, right?
Yeah. I think like just trust your process, trust your timing, and keep learning no matter what. Because, haters will always hate you no matter how great you are. So be the best instead, right? Do I sound like Agnes Mo right now?
Oh my God. Yes.
Right. No, because I've been learning English since, I don't know, years, I think. And in the process, it wasn't easy for me. Like so many people judge me for my pronunciation. Sometimes like they will say, oh, you got like Sundanese accents in your speaking. I was like, what? Like some people might be jealous to you. And just don't take it personally. Kiki was right. So yeah, be confident. Try to just speak, and the more you speak, actually, the more natural of your English later on. It means like it's going to be like flowing, and you don't think anymore when you speak, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So now you now you're still teaching, right?
Yes.
So how could you handle that kind of situation? I mean, if let's say like someone has got a problem with that, I mean, what piece of advice could you offer them?
First thing first, I need to know the purpose of the student himself. Let's say, why do you want to learn English? Do you have any specific purpose in the future? Let's say you want to continue your study overseas or whatsoever, then stick to that one. Because I mean, like, if someone has a visions in their mind, I believe that they will just focus on that one, no matter what the obstacle will be. They will just keep going, right?
Right.
So yeah, I encourage them by saying that. And how about you?
True. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Because if, let's say, someone bring you down, something like someone like bring you down because your English is not really good, and then you don't really use like proper English, just stick to your goal. What is your goal? Just refer back to your goal, right? You were right, actually. So by sticking to your goal, by referring back to the goal you've made before, I think it will encourage you to keep practicing and trying to ignore what people say about you. I mean, it doesn't mean that you try to like, what is that? You try to hate those who really insult you because like you can't really like have a proper English, but it's
Yes.
to some kind of like building your confidence first until you're
Yeah.
confident enough, and then you take everything what people say. I mean, like people say like this and that, just take it,
Hmm.
take everything because
Yeah.
that's knowledge, that's new knowledge. So I think some people like miss that thing, right? Some
Yeah.
people just think about the bad side, about like, oh, I got insulted by that person because my English is not really good. But on the other side, you are corrected by someone who knows English. Just
Yeah.
take it. And
I
that good
know.
thing, just take it. So I think people like miss that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think
And you know that the most interesting fact that I found is that it only happens in Indonesia, when actually people they're so judgmental to you when you speak English differently. Because
right.
I've been friends with some people from another Asian countries, and they don't do that. They just, wow, your English is so good or whatsoever. I mean, like, what's wrong with our people, really?
I know. I know.
Especially when you speak with native speaker. Have you experienced that one? That they're really impressive. No,
Yes.
they're really impressed with your English, right?
Right. Yes.
So I think we have to encourage people to also do the same, to other people to just let them talk, let them
Yeah,
feel
you're right.
confident.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like, just stop judging, you know?
exactly,
You
spread
know, don't, I
positivity.
know. Don't you feel tired?
Exactly,
I
that's my
mean,
point.
the case is like this.
Like,
Those who, those who bully people,
hmm.
or those who try to insult people because their English is not really good, you were there before, right?
Yeah, yes,
I
true.
mean, like, it's impossible when you were born at first and then you got the English already. And you
Unless
could
you're
pronounce,
American, right?
I know, it's like you could pronounce it perfectly. No, you
Yes.
were there before.
Uh-huh.
You went through what's so-called learning, you made mistakes as well, and then suddenly you did something bad to people just because those people can't really like pronounce proper English.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think that's right.
I know. So, guys, just stick to your goal and then keep practicing. How did you improve your English back then, Kiki? Did you just, watch series of Harry Potter over and over again, listen to some music, or how?
Yeah. So in the past I had a collection of BBC podcast.
Ooh, fancy.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to boost my accent there and also
Uh-huh.
improve my vocabularies there as well because reputation is important,
Mm,
right? So by repeating something until your brain can really like digest it, it will make everything permanent in your mind. So that's
right.
what I did in the past. I had a lot of like BBC podcast in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
then I listened to it over and over again.
Right.
And yeah, that's all because I don't really like reading. You know me, right? So I
Right.
I prefer listening to something than
Um, do you have any tips maybe for some of our listener who want to learn about British accents or maybe like English in general? What should they do from the start? Should
from the
they
start.
should they buy that 1 million words of a dictionary? We have that one, right?
Oh yeah. So you started.
Me?
Yeah, it's starting from you.
Well, I was really bad back then. I didn't even know the word farmer. So, my dad put me in the English course back then, and since then I improved a lot, and of course outside of school I learned by myself by watching some movies.
Hmm.
I still remember that I learned English from Finding Nemo. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then I
And
bought.
Nemo found you?
Are you trying to give me some codes right now?
No,
Like, it's not
no.
fair.
Okay.
All right, and yeah, I I learned some words as in like vocabularies from dictionaries, and since I have some relatives in US, I also talk to them, and I think I got my American accent from them as well, since I grew up with American culture and everything. So I got this one. Yeah. Um, but yeah, vocabularies. I think you really need to improve your vocabularies if you really want to speak English better. Because
Yeah.
grammar can be learned later on,
Right.
but yeah, vocab. That's, I think, my tips.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
mm,
No. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. You're right. I mean, I think the most important thing before you go to the vocabulary is about your confidence.
uh,
Just try to be confident. I mean, in everything. Try to just speak what's in your mind. Just don't care about what people say about you. I think that's the strong foundation they've got to
yeah,
build that first. Once you've got the confidence, so you will feel different actually. So you will have some kind of a power to force you that to keep like learning, keep practicing, and then yeah.
yeah. And I think confidence is the foundations if you want to learn anything in this world, right? Including language. Um, but maybe in the future we can like talk about exam preparations, because you also need to have different goal for that, because
Yeah.
different strategy as well there, right? So yeah, it's for later, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're right.
right.
We just want to what is that? We just want to show you that you don't need to be perfect
Hmm.
because like we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect too. Like me, I got nervous actually. I'm
Really?
still nervous, so that's why. Um, my grammar is
Hmm.
messed up now because I'm so nervous. So when it comes to nervous, so I lost everything.
Yeah.
So again, we've been teaching English. We still make mistakes, so just don't be afraid to make mistakes, guys. It's all right. It's not
Yes.
sinful. Just keep making mistakes. It's all
And
right.
maybe like some of you were wondering, how did we end up making this podcast, right? So the story behind it, Kiki, do you want to tell them? How did we end up making this? Because this is actually really sudden, unexpected.
So,
So Kiki,
I
tell them,
know.
how did we end up like this?
Because we kept cancelling making podcasts since, it's quite a long time ago. So
Yeah.
that's why, like, Isab, like, called me today and then forced me some kind of, okay, we've got to make podcasts. We've got to do it right now. So that's why we made it.
Yeah.
And finally,
Yes. So we just don't want to make some podcasts like just to get some viewers or attentions. I think we have our missions. I know it sounds like so grande, but no, it's true that Kiki and I, we have same passion when it comes to
right.
language. So we want to spread the positivity and the awareness that it's okay to make mistake when you learn English. We want to deliver the message. So in the future, if you have any feedback or maybe like some suggestions in the future for our material, you can just feel free to contact us. We've been following his journey for years. So yeah, at that time we were so excited, right, Kate?
We've been following each other's journey actually up until now, right?
I
And also you
know.
had interview before in booking.com, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell
This is like
them.
kind of a right. So, like for your information, if you haven't seen me in person, I'm such a petite girl. Um, you know, like it or not, I've been underestimated by some people for my appearance. But I never really take it personally, just what you said before. I just kept going and enhanced my skill, especially my English, because I was good at language back then, even though like my German language and college I only got B, sadly. But yeah, I've been such a fan of English, and by speaking English well, it allows me to do something that I've never thought before, by having such a great interview with, let's just say the company I got interview with Booking.com and did a vinyl interview. It was such a great experience because imagine if I don't speak English well, like I might not ended up there. So yeah, I'm so grateful that English has opened so many opportunities for me. So if me and Kiki, we can do this stuff by speaking English well, I believe that you can also do the same, right, Ki?
Yeah, you're right. So all
Yeah.
you've got to do is just like keep doing it, just keep practicing.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
That's all
Yes.
you can do.
Right. Okay, so I think it's been a great talk,
I
right?
think so. Yeah.
It's not bad for our first time.
I know,
I
right?
know, right? Okay. Okay, so
Like,
that's all I
I
think for our podcast today. Do you want to say something, Kiki? Some last
um
message?
hopefully for the next podcast we're going to bring a good topic to talk
Yes,
about. It's going
right.
to be really interesting, and hopefully you can really get something from this podcast.
Yes.
And that's all I think.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening. It's been a pleasure for us to have some of you. And I'll see you in the next podcast. Just stay tuned with us. Okay?